6 legs instead of 4, an armored shell instead of fur, and massive antlers that aren't antlers at all. Their jaws. What you're looking at isn't something out of a fantasy novel. This is the stag beetle, the largest beetle in Ukraine, and one of the most extraordinary insects on the entire European continent. A creature that has roamed these forests for millions of years, long before humans ever walked beneath these same trees. Its scientific name is Lucanus cervus. It belongs to the family Lucanidae, the stag beetles, and for centuries, it has been the most recognizable beetle in Europe. The name itself tells the story. Cervus means deer in Latin, and one look at those jaws, and you understand exactly why. Dark brown armor, glossy wing cases that catch the last light of a summer evening, and those iconic mandibles. The jaws that on a male can grow up to a quarter of his entire body length. Males can reach up to 7.5 centimeters long. Females are more modest, around 5. Their jaws are noticeably smaller and their build is slightly rounder. That's actually the easiest way to tell them apart at a glance. The stag beetle lives across Europe and parts of Western Asia. Poland, Germany, France, Italy, Ukraine. Anywhere old forests have managed to survive the centuries. But it isn't just any forest this beetle calls home. It loves ancient oak woodland, broad-leaved forests full of history, old parks and sprawling gardens, places where rotting stumps and fallen logs have been left to do what nature intended, places where decay is not something to be cleaned up but something to be celebrated. Because for the stag beetle, a rotting log isn't a sign of neglect. It's everything. It's a nursery, a shelter, a food source. Take that away, and the stag beetle has nowhere to go. On warm summer evenings, usually somewhere between May and July, the males take to the air. Their flight is slow and deliberate, almost ceremonial. They cruise anywhere from 1 to 10 meters off the ground, occasionally rising higher, riding the last warmth of the day. Sometimes a single male will cover up to 3 kilometers in one journey. And what drives them? The same thing that drives most creatures during the brief season of life. A rival, a mate. When 2 males meet on the same branch or log, the contest begins. And what's remarkable is just how ritualized it is. There's no chaos here, no frenzy. Each male sizes up his opponent, positions himself carefully, and then tries to do one thing. Grip his rival with those powerful jaws and flip him onto his back. The one who ends up on the ground simply rights himself and walks away. No injuries, no death, just a clear, decisive result. It's a duel with rules, almost like something out of another era. Those same jaws are also the beetle's first line of defense against predators, birds, foxes, and anything else that might see a large, slow-moving insect as an easy meal. And don't make the mistake of underestimating the females. Smaller jaws, yes, but when threatened, they're fully capable of delivering a surprisingly firm bite. After mating, life moves quickly. The males die, their job complete. The females outlast them, but only just. They find a suitable site, a hollow in an old tree, a crumbling stump, and lay the eggs deep inside the decaying wood. And then they too are gone. But the story doesn't end there. It's really only just beginning. The larvae that hatch from those eggs are in it for the long haul. We're talking 5 to 6 years underground. Half a decade spent entirely inside rotting wood. They're blind, almost translucent. Cream-colored bodies with orange legs and an orange head. Strange, pale creatures that most people will never see in their lifetime. And yet they are doing something quietly essential. As they feed on decaying wood, they break it down, returning nutrients to the soil. They are, in their own unhurried way, helping the forest breathe. These larvae, blind, soft, living in darkness, can produce sounds at a frequency of 11 kilohertz, using their legs to stridulate against their own body. Nearly inaudible to the human ear without equipment, but to small parasites and predators in that underground world, it's a clear message. Something's here. Move along. In the final spring of their larval life, something shifts. They stop feeding. They find a spot, often deeper in the soil, and begin to pupate. The transformation that follows takes weeks, and when it's complete, an adult beetle emerges, fully formed, ready for its brief, brilliant season above ground. that adult beetle, after all those years of development, barely eats. A little tree sap seeping from a wound in the bark. A piece of overripe fruit fermenting on the forest floor. That's enough. Just enough fuel to fly, to fight, and to leave something behind. The whole adult life lasts only a matter of weeks. But what weeks they are. Today, the stag beetle is listed in Ukraine's Red Book of Endangered Species. And across Europe, the situation is serious. Populations have been declining for decades. In some regions, sightings that were once common are now rare events. The reasons aren't mysterious. Old forests are being cleared for development. Ancient trees are felled before they ever get the chance to rot. Tidy parks replace wild ones, and every stump is removed in the name of maintenance. Each time that happens, another piece of habitat disappears. And the stag beetle, which needs decades of the right conditions just to complete one life cycle, simply cannot adapt fast enough. That's why conservationists across Europe are pushing for a different approach. Leave the old trees standing. Let the fallen logs lie. Protect the patches of ancient woodland that remain. Because that weathered, crumbling stump at the edge of the path might be sheltering an entire generation of larvae right now. For the stag beetle, it's not a stump, it's home. Most of its life, this beetle exists in complete darkness. Inside rotting wood in silence, invisible to the world above. But when its time finally comes, it steps into the light. It takes to the air on a warm summer evening. It fights for its place. It finds its mate, and it leaves its mark on the forest, not in a way we can see, but in a way the forest understands. When we protect old trees, we protect stories like this one. When we leave the forest a little wilder, a little less managed, a little more itself. And that feels like a pretty good reason to leave that old oak standing at the edge of the clearing. If you enjoyed this, subscribe